Plays flat to Campbell. Campbell on the outside and try time to the skipper. Tyler Campbell. Cut pass out to Stoward. Right foot, left foot, try. Reed Stoward in full flight. Inside to Campbell. Tyler Campbell.
Media Vintage Sports Network presents Play-by-Play podcast with Jordan Hughes.
Alrighty, welcome in Play-by-Play Rugby. Back with you once again. And round one is here for Super Rugby Pacific. Kicks off this Friday, and to discuss it all is Reed Stowers and Tyler Campbell alongside to get stuck in, boys. And it's come around real fast, but Super's back, lads. Good feeling.
Great feeling. Obviously, bit of a break from rugby, and Six Nations kicked off last week and had another good weekend this weekend, and now we get to roll into Super Rugby. So the rivalry starts again between us back in our team, and get to see how this season goes. I thought last season was really good and got a bit of the viewership up, so hopefully we can build on that and see some young, exciting talent coming through.
This year looks exciting.
Yeah,
just looking at those new Super Rugby Australia teams that they've got out, they look pretty stacked.
Very nice. So on the show tonight, Six Nations to talk about Super Rugby picks and preview. But I want to start with Super Bowl, boys. We'll start the recap there. Eagles 40, the Chiefs 22, just dominant in every part of the game. What do we make of it? We all picked it too.
I reckon it was kind of disappointing just because you always want to see like a tight one in the Super Bowl. But, bro, that Eagles D-line was just running straight through them, eh?
Honestly, Cole, I was a terrible teacher on Monday. First period had year 11 rec. Our theme was coaching and double.
Were you teaching?
Yeah, I had a double.
He was so active in the boys' chat the whole time.
We had a double period on. They were doing like a coaching course online, and like coaching's the topic this term. So I was like, yeah, just watch the coaches on the sideline, had it up on the screen, and then went down to the hall for second period and put it on the big projector. Kind of just said, go shoot a basketball.
I didn't even think that you were at,
go shoot a basketball, and I'm just sat there on a chair and watched the whole game, and then halftime show came on and everyone sort of stopped and had a watch of that. And then third period, I actually had to do a supervision of a teacher that was away. So I gave them their work and then sat there on my laptop and continued watching.
Inspiring the growth, the future of tomorrow, eh?
Mate, sometimes pride. A lot of people didn't turn up to work on Monday.
Yep.
And I'm picking, I know where they were. And not just at my work. I'm assuming there's a lot of people not working.
100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jalen Hurts gets his redemption, MVP. He was pretty class, I thought.
Oh, he was gun. Yeah, every time they were shutting down Barkley, but when they go to pass option, he was just taking off through the middle as well. Like, they just couldn't stop them anywhere.
And I think Barkley didn't have the best game, but if you watch it, they were bringing their safety down. The Chiefs were bringing their safeties down every time to stop that run, and it's probably why they got exposed a little bit over the top. Like, look at the Devontae Smith touchdown. Like, safety comes down, boom, they throw it over the top, and he's rapid. I think people forget how good he was in college.
Alabama, yeah.
Obviously a bit different at the next level because he's still got that speed, but probably doesn't get as much space as he used to get.
Yeah, and you're hearing the commentators say it, like they were saying they want to lock down AJ, and if Devontae Smith gets away, it's like, oh well, like what can you do?
But like on the flip side, obviously we see all the touchdowns. The Eagles D was outstanding.
100%.
Shout out to the white cornerback. Doing one first
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
Bit of a black name though, to be honest. But was it first white cornerback to get a pick six in 23 years?
How good's that, man? I think it's from Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, so he was actually I watched his basketball highlights. He's a freak athlete. Like, he was doing like windmill dunks and stuff. And in Iowa, he's got like the second most points all time in high school basketball, and played quarterback at high school, and has good stats in that too. So freak athlete that's obviously gone to corner, played a bit of quarterback and quite good at reading it. But the Eagles tend to four-man rush the whole game. They never actually seen a proper blitz.
Yeah, I seen that stat, and they got 16 pressures and 6 sacks.
Yeah, most sacks in Mahomes' career.
That's crazy.
Like, without...
He had no answers.
They were straight up getting run over, though. Their O-line was getting run over.
And you can see the sort of why the Eagles have taken those Georgia... They've taken a lot of the Georgia players over the last couple of years, and Georgia's been known for their D. And what's Jalen Carter?
Yep.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Like, he was just dominating that one-on-one, and sort of they couldn't do anything. They couldn't double. They were just in all sorts. And surprised they didn't actually get a few more holds against them. Like, I think the rest started letting it go a bit because it was that dominant on the line. Like, if you could give MVP to the whole D line, I think they would have got it.
Could have, yeah, for sure. Jordan Mailata, of course, first Australian to win a Super Bowl. That's pretty cool as well. Like, what a story for him.
They're talking about him heaps as well, eh? Like, they just wouldn't stop bringing him up.
Well, were you listening to the ESPN or?
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's probably why.
So that's the Australian broadcast.
Oh,
so they're
yeah,
veered
yeah.
towards Australia.
Yeah.
That's
I was sitting
why.
there thinking, I was like,
Tom
holy
Brady's still there
shout
too,
out.
though.
Tom Brady was on the. If you watched it on Channel 7, it was the Fox broadcast. If you watched it on KO, it was ESPN.
Oh, I was going to say, I was like, holy heaps of shout outs for
that was good.
Australia.
Aussie, yeah. And then on the other side, the Chiefs. What do we sort of make of, I guess, the GOAT chat now for where Patrick Mahomes stands?
I think it was early to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, I think Mahomes is a freak and probably a generational talent that could be the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he's had a good run of Super Bowls. But so did Brady early in his career.
Yeah.
He won, I think in his first 4 years, he won 3 as well, first 5 years. Like, he had the
Yeah, they got the same
back-to-back.
stat. Yeah, 3 and 5,
Yeah.
I think it was.
But obviously the difference being Brady's never been blown out in a Super Bowl, and now that's happened to Mahomes twice.
Yeah.
One against Brady.
Fact.
So for him to sort of catch Brady, I think he has to get the 7 rings now. He's going to have all the stats because obviously we see his talent with his arm, but I think the rings obviously is a big part of being a GOAT quarterback.
Yeah, lovely. So the Eagles get it done. Nick Sirianni, very happy man. Halftime show, boys. Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, plenty of chat about this. What do you guys make of it?
I didn't like it, eh? He didn't play anything that made him
Yeah, that's what
Kendrick
Tyler was saying.
I said
before
that
he was
before.
before all the beef. Like, it was so political. It was only, felt like it was only about Drake and, like, proving
Yeah, okay.
I'm better than
Like-
you.
It's just the whole start, obviously, and I can see why white Americans didn't like it, and obviously the Drake fans didn't like it, and they're going, worst Super Bowl performance. I can't agree with that because, as I said to you before, Black Eyed Peas still exists.
Oh, I saw that as well, yeah.
Justin Timberlake was pretty average when he was up there, and he did one by himself too. So
The worst is a bit much. Personally.
yeah, and to be fair, there was a lot of terrible ones probably before the 2000s and early 2000s that we didn't actually witness. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's the worst in the last 10 years.
No.
But it probably wasn't one of the ones. I think we were expecting more.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that makes it harder.
Yeah.
he didn't play Mad City. Like, what the... I was
Yeah.
waiting for Mad City. And
Mad City, Family Ties.
What is that?
Like-
Because Apple Music owns it, they're wanting to play his new album. Is that that's what I heard?
Oh, I think he was sort of just... There's beef. Like, I think for now, I'm over it. Personally, like, it's
Yeah.
been 5 months.
It's been
Like,
a bit,
you
yeah.
won.
Bit of carry
You
on.
got your Grammys. Like, but the hard part is it's sort of like... I relate it to, like, that song, like, Fiend for Travis Scott. It's so loved by your young teenagers because they got the little catchy... They're not like us, just like Fiend's got the Fiend. Like, it's just... like, they relate to it and they love it so much that if he didn't play it, people would have been pretty much booing
Yeah.
it.
You couldn't hear the crowd at all until he goes, "Hey, mine," and
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
every
that.
single, and then back to silence again.
When he said that Say Drake moment, I've
Yeah.
seen that clip. So
And
many
he, like,
times on
smiles
social.
straight at the camera, yeah.
He's an entertainer, that's for sure. I'll move to rugby now, boys. I want to touch on the Wallaby coach discussions. We touched on it briefly last week. We've seen some options start to emerge. Ronan O'Gara. I heard a bit of chat about Vern Cotter, Leon McDonald. I just want to get your take on who you guys sort of, what are you thinking, what are you leaning towards so far?
My head tells me it needs to finally be an Aussie guy. You've
Yeah.
got to show that pathway.
Okay.
For me, it's a Dan McKellar or a Stephen Larkin.
Right.
But they're not in the chat, are you saying? They're
Yeah.
not even in the...
Well, they are. I'm just sort of these guys are new guys that overseas have sort of.
Leon McDonald's an interesting one.
Yeah, I was just
Obviously,
about to say
he
that.
had a fallout with the All Blacks last year.
Yeah.
Him and Razor didn't see eye to eye, but, well, conspiracy. He just said it wasn't a fit for him and went on, but apparently they didn't really get along very well.
Yeah.
So, seeing what happens moving forward would be interesting. But, like, as I said, I just think it has to be an Aussie coach. It's time to get someone in there that's loyal to Australian rugby, that wants to see Australian rugby go. Smith's changed the sort of culture a bit, and that person can build on it. And Larkin would be perfect too. He's worn the jersey. Did he win a World Cup?
Yeah.
I think 99 he was around.
Yeah, he was
Like,
10.
that's a guy that knows how to win a World Cup as well. And I just think players respect someone a lot that's worn the jersey, especially if they're a good coach.
Any thoughts, Reece?
Such a hard topic to speak on because of how much it changes. So.
Yeah. The thing
I don't
about
know, I just want to see someone get put in there and then
Stay there.
Yeah, and let us see what they can do.
the part you got to remember is this: whoever they hire has to work with Joe Schmidt too, and has to be able to take the advice he's going to get. Someone like Checker, I don't think would have because he's a big, powerful
big
guy.
dog, yeah.
Ronan O'Gara, I thought maybe because they worked together in Ireland.
Yeah.
Bit of history there.
He played for Ireland, eh?
Yeah, he's a
He
legendary
used to be a
10.
10.
Yeah, yeah.
10 before Sexton.
So
Rugby 08, seen that name?
He,
Yeah.
he did a stint at the Satyrs too.
yeah, okay.
When he was I'm sure he was the backs coach for 3-4 years with Razor.
Right.
So he's got a good coaching pedigree behind him.
Yeah, he's sort of my lane at the moment. Anyway, so we'll see how that plays out. Warren Gatlin, boys, as we said last week, he's done. Got sacked yesterday.
Oh, he did get sacked?
Yeah,
Not surprised.
Oh my goodness, I watched that game. That was shocking.
It was torrential rain, but
But not even that. Like, it looks like Wales don't know their
right.
shape. Like, they over-resource numbers in almost every single breakdown, and then they look to shift the ball wide. And they got the defense has like a 3-on-1 overlap on them, and they just get jammed, and then over-resource again, and then they just kick the ball. Like, they were showing nothing.
I reckon Gallen's been checked out for a while.
Sacked immediately.
Well, it's sort of like,
Like he's gone. There's
Done.
no finish the Six Nations.
parting ways now.
That's a big call in the middle of a comp. Like they're not going to win it, but
I feel sorry for him because they lost so much like international talent, all like just gone.
14 in a row they lost. So anyway, and then finally, boys, news items. Super Rugby draft has been chatted about. Trying to make the NBA sort of we get the exciting trades and we have the draft. We potentially have New Zealand guys playing for Australian franchises and vice versa. What do we think on this?
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
How's the draft? Where are you drafting from?
Well, that's I guess it
I don't think rugby's like
we don't have that college
NBA where
feeder
you can
system.
draft out of high school. Like a lot of guys are stars in high school, but then they don't kick on to the next level because sort of different things don't sort of work out. That they're bigger in high school, they're not as big when they get there. Like, rugby's a bit different to the NBA in that aspect.
Yeah.
For a draft, you need a strong grassroots system where players are shining and that they can come into a system like that and kill it. Because, like, I'm not saying that the step from Super Rugby to, like, at the top comps is massive, but the players in the top comp to the bottom players in the top comp, like, there's a big gap between that.
I don't want to run our comp down. I don't want to run Shoot Shield down.
Yeah, neither. But
we're not on the same level as NPC.
Yeah.
Like, if we're drafting...
That's fair. That's semi-professional.
There's these guys have been training full-time the last 4 or 5 months, playing a comp. Like, why would you draft someone out of club rugby when there's that sort of talent that's been training and playing at the
And it's also
NPC
hard
level?
to do it with 2 countries as well. Like, America's the one thing. But anyway, they're obviously trying to enhance engagement somehow. So.
The only thing I'd say is maybe if New
Hand
Zealand and New Zealand and Oz both opened up that you could play in either country and players could jump across, that would be a bit different.
And that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. So if players get picked up and Aussie, like we see it a bit now, like Austin Anderson's playing for the Brumbies this weekend. He was playing for Waikato a couple of years ago.
But by him doing that, he's not eligible for the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
If we open up the eligibility, maybe we see, like we've seen O'Connor now go to the Staters. Yeah. Maybe we see a lot more players sort of bump back and forward, and it sort of levels the playing field across the both sort of countries. Yeah. But it
might level the comp, but I don't think it's going to help Australian rugby itself.
I think there'll be too many NZ players will come across.
I think so too. Like you said, they've got the
NPC.
Yeah,
they've got the pathway.
So those players are coming up, and they've got guns in there. And if you're going to take players, like you said, you're not going to take players from club. You'd rather take them straight from.
It doesn't help NZ either, because a lot of the young guys they keep around that aren't quite ready for Super, that played all right in NPC, they sort of keep them in and around training with those Super Rugby sides and building them into it. So the next year they have a good NPC season and they get picked up.
Yep.
Now you're not going to have that because these young guys go, I can go earn 100K if I shoot over to the Reds or to the Tars. And now they're playing rugby over here and they probably stay here and we don't get that sort of, I don't know, whether Aussie's going to let them come back and play in the NPC.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
water on the bridge for that one, for sure. Anyway, so let's go to some Six Nations round 2. You touched on it before, Reed. Wales 15, Italy 22. A real grinding a game, but yeah, Italy, big win at home.
Yeah. I feel like that Italy forward pack is pretty strong, eh? Like we already know that they've got those rapid outside backs, but who was it? One of them. Who was their goal kicker? He was on fire.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I had no interest in watching this game.
It's a bit of a dud, isn't it?
It was a dud. I watched it, but it was pretty boring. But there were a couple of standouts for me.
The outside backs for Italy are nice to watch.
Have they got Montiuani?
And what's his
Capizio?
name? Yeah, him.
Yeah, he is a freak.
Yeah.
The fullback, I'm pretty sure he was the goal kicker. He was, I reckon, man of the match. He stood out. Yeah, right. And one of their back rowers was unreal.
Beast. You know, it wasn't boring. England and France, 26-25, an absolute cracker. England get it done. 79th minute try to Elliot Daly. Boys, this was good to watch.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
And like attacking rugby, I know it was wet weather, and there were heaps of errors.
Yeah.
There were so many errors, so many opportunities for tries missed. But like watching that game, it was just so entertaining, and like even looking at the crowd, like Twickenham was packed.
When they scored that try and the emotion.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
I think the French, I think, were actually the better team.
Yeah, I agree.
They bombed some tries.
They bombed heaps.
Dupont in the first few minutes.
Reach out with one hand.
He catches that. He probably scores. You look at...
Was that the long range one that they went all the way from the 22?
All the way from the 22. Like, I feel like when France had a chance to counter-attack, they were outstanding.
They attacked.
Another one, Tony Ramos. Like, he's normally the most money prick you've got off the boot. He does that crossfield kick and he pulls it way too deep and shallow. Like, he's normally bang on the money with that, and that lands in...
Pinot or whatever, the winger?
Yeah, the other one...
He had a shocker.
What's the other one?
He dropped heaps. He dropped like certain tries. He killed heaps of momentum.
Normally he's consistent too.
Yeah, he had a bad game that day.
Fuck, the French look good on counter-attack.
Bro.
Like, every time they get a chance to counter, it's really good rugby to watch. And it comes off the back of the speed they have in their wingers. And Dupont, like, he just seems to pop up in all their counter-attacks. They're just unreal at it.
Yeah, their work rate, like, if you're playing in the back three and you're catching the ball and as soon as you catch it, you look up and you've already got 3 people outside you. Like, there's so many options. Yeah, it's a dream. Like, because someone's going to isolate themselves, like, in the chase line, and then all you have to do is just skip to the outside, and then you're just playing numbers. It's so easy. Like, they work hard. They work so hard back. Off kicks.
Yeah, off the ball stuff.
Even turnovers. Like, if there's a turnover, you see like 4 of them come
sprinting,
flying onto it. Like, Dupont's normally in that fill row in the pocket, but then their whole back three's coming too.
I love how they play.
They're just so electric.
We're speaking like the French won here. They didn't in the end.
I know.
It's crazy to say.
But like, it's a typical English performance.
Yeah.
Like, they stuck with it. They
stayed in the
grinded
fight.
out. They, and to their credit, they scored some good tries too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, they're exciting as well to watch.
Finn Smith, 22-year-old first star in the 10 jersey, man of the match. And Mark Smith was 15. What do you make of these two?
I liked it. Marcus Smith, like, his counter-attack as well was unreal. Every time he got the ball, like, he's stressing the defence, and even if he's not getting through the line, he's getting positive meters, like getting to weak shoulders and getting quick rucks.
I thought the 10 made some very good decisions. Obviously, the pass to Elliot Daly at the end held it up really well.
Yeah.
The one where he turned back across the ruck and kicked to his winger for that try. Like, he's obviously got a sort of good head on him, and he's a bit about him.
What an effort from that winger to get
that was unreal too, though. So it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward. I think you got to stick with the formula. They just won you a game going into this week, but interesting to see how that all goes.
And the final game, Ireland 32, Scotland 18. The Irish is far too good here. Obviously, Finn Russell did go down at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Irish are hot favourites now to win it again.
I didn't like that game. Like, I watched it and I was like, this is going to be a cracker. But as soon as Finn Russell went down, and that was only like, maybe 20 minutes in, it felt like, okay, there's no chance Scotland are winning.
I think Scotland did well to hold on. That first 20 minutes could have been very ugly. We saw obviously the first try come off some good set piece and good sort of phase play from the Irish, and then you had the one that was yellow card, which I reckon possibly could have been a penalty try.
There's too many. I agreed with the ref. There was someone else chasing.
Like, it's up for debate, but then you have 2 held up after. Like, you got held up twice after that. Then they eventually get the 3 points. Like, one of those early tries is scored. It's looking dangerous for Ireland, and then obviously Scotland score before half, and then they score. They get the 3, and then they score again.
It was a good finish. Vandermeer for that try in the corner. It was a great
that
finish.
was unreal.
Oh, that was crazy. It's funny though, like, you watch that, and that's almost like every single NRL try. Just get to the outside flick pass, and then the crazy dive in the corner, but you just don't see it in Union.
Not as much. No.
I think a big fuck up for Scotland was taking that 3 in front of the post with all the momentum. It's 19-8 at that point, and they scored just before half. They'd taken a quick penalty just after half time, got back down there hot on attack in the first 10 minutes, and they took, it's easy points in front of the post, but that led to them they kick that, they fuck up their exit, and then Ireland go and score, and it kind of in hindsight, obviously it ruins what the momentum they were building. I just think they had Ireland on the ropes. They score there, it's a different game, but yeah, it's a tough one for Scotland to swallow, but it's going to be interesting to see how this week goes without Finn Russell.
Yes, indeed. So Six Nations is actually a week off this week.
Week off.
So yeah, we'll chat back in a few weeks on that one. We'll go to Super Rugby Boys, start to chat about that. I want to do a little bit of a New Zealand teams preview before we get into our picks for the weekend ahead. I want to start with the Blues. They're the reigning champions, looking to go back-to-back pretty measured side once again. Bodie Barrett's in the mix. How do you think they're looking towards this year ahead?
On paper, they're pretty much the same team. Obviously, Akira Ioane's a massive loss.
Yep.
But I think Anton Signer's ready to really step into that sort of 6 role. And we've seen what talent he has. We probably haven't seen it consistently yet, but if he gets going, I think he's a big asset for them. Hoskins obviously got a point to prove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if he doesn't make the All Blacks this year, he's playing for England at the end of the year. So that'll be also another one to sort of watch out for. But the other thing for me is what they can do with their backline. AJ Lamb and Harry Plummer were outstanding at 10 and 12 last year. Bodie's at the back obviously this week, but does he come into 10 when Perifetta comes back?
Because he killed it for the All Blacks.
Does
And
Plummer go to 12? Like there's so many decisions to be made in that sort of backline, and sometimes that can actually affect the team quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants that starting spot, and it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out over the season.
So the Blues looking hot once again. I'll go to you now, Reid. The Hurricanes. Cam Roigard, he's sort of the main man this year. How do you think your team are looking?
I think, I'm pretty confident with our forward pack. Like, our Lucy's we lose Artie Savia, but then you've got Duplessis, you've got Brad Shields, and you've still got Braden Yossu.
And Peter Lackey
And
as
then
well.
Peter Lackey's on the bench, or what's he named on the bench? Yeah,
right.
so, the Lucy's a gun. Forward pack, our front row, we had the most dominant scrum last year, and I think we haven't lost anyone there. Second row is probably still same as last year.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the same.
My only concerning point is fly halves. And I think we sort of touched on it last week. But, yeah.
You haven't really got a stable, consistent main man there, do you?
Nah, and then Ruben Love's out as well, but I'm pretty sure the fullback that they've got was the Wellington Lions fullback, the other fellow with the white headgear, and he ripped that con to shreds last year.
He carved NPC.
He carved it up.
Yeah.
Harry Godfrey, he's the 10 this week, and he's actually a very good young talent coming through.
Yeah.
Could possibly be a little bit too early for him, to be honest, especially in a team that's contending. If he's in a team that's sort of rebuilding, I'd expect him to get a lot of game time, but he's kind of going to be given the license for that team with Brett Cameron, I think, is out for the season with an ACL. And then Riley Hallhipper's on the bench, who played a bit for the Satyrs, but one of them goes down. I have no idea who's next on the rank. There's a bit of a crisis there if someone goes down, especially with Geordie Barrett away too.
Honestly, I know like Cam Roigard's a 9, but like a new 10 coming into Super Rugby, I think it's a bit harder to play outside of Cam Roigard, like someone who likes to get out from the ruck, not as structured, like they play eyes up footy. I think it makes it a little bit harder for him as well.
Yeah, you're a bit in the unknown all the time.
Yeah.
Tyler, I'll stay with you again. The Chiefs, your team, Dane McKenzie, he's the main man, but obviously big news was TT gun for the year. Thoughts on the Chiefs in 25?
I think this is the most depth I've seen in a Super Rugby team in a while, especially with the Chiefs. Brodie McAllister gets the nod at hooker this week, but obviously Simisoni Takiaho's to come back as well. Obviously McAllister was pretty good for the All Black development, or whatever they call All Black 15 at the back end of last year. But even our back row is we lose Satiti, but Luke Jacobson, Jerome Brown comes back over from the Brumbies. I think he's a big get. Sam Penny-Finau. There's still a lot of depth in our back row.
Yeah.
I think New Zealand back rows in general are pretty locked
Just the
down.
stocks are loaded.
Loaded.
There's still a lot of sort of depth there. And then on top of that, our back line's got a bit of depth too. Like Sean Stevenson obviously goes another huge loss, but Etienne and I played really well at fullback when he was there. I know D-Max got the keys this week. Leroy Carter's going to be one to watch.
100%.
Coming off the sevens. He was outstanding for the Bay.
I see since the time on the Gold Coast at some stage.
Yeah.
I think he plays
Used to
like
play
that.
at
He's played at
Hogs.
Hogs.
I just saw that post today. How cool.
Yeah.
He went back over for his last year of school and sort of kept kicking on. He's one of the hardest trainers and workers you'll meet. And I just think he's going to have a big season on that wing when he gets to go for it too. And obviously Amoni Narawa, after all his injuries, coming back in, he was good for the Bay last year. So I think
That
he's
back
going
three, that is
he's going to fight
dangerous.
for a All Black spot again this year.
Looking the goods. The Highlanders, the men down south, haven't really fired the last couple of years. And again, I'm not that convinced
Not
for
convinced.
this year. What
Not
do we?
convinced.
Big losses too.
Yeah.
You lose your captain in Billy Harmon, who I think is someone that was really hard done by not to get more look-ins from the All Blacks. I don't think he actually got a cap in the end, but a couple of trains here and there because he was always outstanding for them. So he's a big loss, but I don't really know where their strengths lie.
Yeah.
Like Ethan de Groot, obviously.
Their co-captain
Huge.
is a winger.
Yeah, co-captain's a winger.
What's his name again?
He's going to have a go at it.
Yeah,
Tavanoa, yeah.
and Hugh Renton's the other one hasn't really been a predominant starter for them. Fakatava's sort of lost his mojo a little bit, like he's coming off the bench this week. It'd be nice to see him find his form and fight for that All Black spot, but I'm not sure where to look at for the Highlanders at the moment.
And then finally, Moana Pacifica, obviously the huge signing, Artie Savir, straight as captain. Julian Savir is there as well. Poni Famasili comes across from the Rebels.
Hello, Marlo. Come
Solomon
from the
Alamo.
Tigers.
So they look better.
Yeah, I think they'll be stronger.
Some
I think,
scalps.
there'll be a bit of upsets from them. They might be the draw of last year.
I don't see them as a finals team.
Not yet.
Not yet, but I do see them getting maybe a couple of upsets here.
Artie's influence will be huge.
Yeah, from Artie's influence, I see more Islander players start making their way over to Moana.
Yeah.
If they allow it, though, because Moana is brought in to help strengthen the Samoa and Tonga team. So you don't want all your Islander All Blacks going over there and taking spots for them.
Be interesting to see where they're playing this year. I haven't looked at their schedule in terms of that, but
They still had a Mount Smart?
yeah, they don't really have a home
That's
ground.
the issue, yeah.
And like the Fiji, what they do well is they are so strong at home.
Mm.
Moana, there's probably a bit of debate whether they go and play in Tonga or Samoa. But if they could share more of their home games between those two countries and get the crowd behind them, I think that would help them a lot
that's
more.
the move.
100%.
Do it there.
Yeah.
But
And with those names now as well, like they'll bring crowds to the games.
imagine the game on a Saturday afternoon in Tonga. It'd be
Yeah.
nuts. So, anyway, we'll see how we go. Any more thoughts on that?
No.
All goods? All right, let's get into it, boys. Round one.
Wait,
Picks
do we talk about Satyrs?
Yeah, didn't we get the
Oh,
same
no, I
as
didn't. Sorry, I missed one. Crusaders.
Yeah.
Plenty of changes, but young talent. The way you saw the back line looks fucking filthy.
Yeah. Back
That whole team.
Yeah.
That back row is filthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Blackadder.
saying. Like the back row in New Zealand is locked down.
Like Christian Leo Willie's been awesome for them. Ethan Blackadder, I'm fingers crossed, toes crossed, whatever I need to cross, that he goes through a whole season injury free.
Yeah.
Cullen Grace as well. He had a lot of potential when he first sort of come on the scene, so bit of depth there. Obviously Scott Barrett's there, Cody Taylor's to come back in. He's
Obviously,
not
Will
named
Jordan's
this week.
big on his back.
Will Jordan, arguably when he's on fire, is the best player in Super Rugby.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um,
So what do you think? They're turning around this year? Or?
I think they make finals.
yeah, I think so too. Top 6.
I think the 10 jerseys there. Like Noah Hotham is going to be 10 times better having all that All Black experience.
Yep.
I just think that 10
O'Connor
jersey,
off
whether
the
it's going to
pine
be
this week.
O'Connor with his experience, whether Taha Kimura after a year under his belt is going to step it up.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see how that sort of all plays out. But everywhere else is stacked. Braden Ennors to come back at some point too.
Yep.
Dallas McLeod made his debut for the All Blacks 2 years ago. And he
Who's
can't
this
even
centre
crack it.
pairing?
This week?
Yeah.
I think it was Havili and
Yeah, Villie's 12.
Amor. Levi Amor.
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
Where do you think...
They got punch.
They do. Rob Penny, as a coach, what do you...
I'm not sold on him.
Yeah, I'm
he
not
hasn't
sold
done
either.
anything for me to be like,
Yeah.
he's a great coach.
I reckon if they shit the bed this year, obviously he's gone.
Yeah.
But, we'll see how they go. All right, boys, round one, picks and preview. It starts with that team right there. The Crusaders against the Hurricanes, $1.75, $2.05 the Canes, and the line is 1.5. So this year for our tipping, we're going to go who wins it and then against the spread as well for both. This way it's...
Against the spread. Is that the line?
yeah.
What was the line against
One,
it?
just 1.5.
So who's favourites? The
The
Satyrs.
Satyrs are at home. Obviously, we spoke about it. Will Jordan's back. O'Connor coming off the bench for the Satyrs. It's a tough way to start.
I'm going to go Satyrs. I'm going to go them to cover the line. The line at 1.5, there's no point trying to gamble 1.5 there.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm going the Satyrs is they're at home, and I think they need this win more than the Hurricanes need it. And I think that's going to be said, like they're going to be so disappointed in what happened last year that they're going to come out into this game, and it might be their best game of the season, to be honest. And I think they'll get it done, especially with the Hurricanes having a lot of debutants this week.
Rian, break it down for me.
Oh, I can't break this down. I reckon this is going to be a close-ass game, but obviously, go with the Hurricanes to win, cover the line.
Lovely.
If they win,
If they win, they cover. Could be the underdog.
I still don't understand it.
They're getting a head start. So the game
Oh,
is starting off.
They got plus 1.5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, son. I'm going to join you there. Tyler, I reckon Crusaders, this is at home. They need to start
Just
off.
so
right
much
here.
to prove for them.
Yeah, all the injured guys that missed last year, they'll be fired up to play again. All right, let's go to Friday night. Waratahs and the Highlanders, $1.38 at the Tars, $3 are the Landers, 7.5 is your spread. 12 Wallabies in the Waratahs side. Suoli'i, the marquee man at 15. He's been
Did you
named.
say
Holy.
favourite was?
The Tars.
Yeah.
$1.38
It's 7.5.
is the spread, yeah.
Oof.
I'm going Tars to cover the line.
You reckon it
I just don't see anything from the Highlanders team that like jumps out to me. And I mean, same sort of thing happened though last year, and then the Highlanders had a good start to the year last year.
maybe this is round one. These guys are fired up.
Yeah. But I just think too many big names. If they can put it together, hopefully they don't do what the Rebels did last year. Hopefully they put it together. Yeah.
Look, love Dan McKellar. I think he's a great coach. I don't think he turns it around overnight. I still think the Tars win, but I think the Landers cover that line. I'm expecting it to be a close game.
Yeah, I love the Waratahs 1-12 here, if you want something.
I feel like they're just dominance in the forward pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't... It depends if we get the best out of someone like a Taniela. I expect Angus Bell to be on his best because he's consistent.
Yeah.
I don't like the Waratahs second row options.
Isn't Kylea there as well?
Yeah, he's not playing this week though.
Why is that?
I'm not too sure. I can't.
He's there.
He's there. Yeah, I just don't like the second row options for the Tars at the moment. I don't think they have that sort of impact that other second rowers have. But then again, they could just be workers and just be cleaning rucks, and it could work for them. But yeah, I just think the Landers cover this week, and the Tars are going to take a bit of while to sort of gel as a team.
Yeah.
Interested to see how Suoli'i goes at fullback. He hasn't played anything
Thoughts
there.
on that?
He's got the talent for
As
it.
an athlete. He played there at school level, didn't he?
Honestly, when we were talking about him coming over, I thought that's where they were going to put him. But then when they put him in the centres, I was like, oh, yeah, he's a centre. And now he's gone back to fullback. So I'm backing him to do well, as long as he can let that ball go.
Yeah. I go Waratahs to win. Waratahs 1-12, so I'll go the Landers just to get within that 7.5 for me. Let's go to Fiji, boys. This has been an absolute cracker. Absolutely hot as hell. Drua, $2.15. Brumbies, $1.68. 2.5 is your spread. No Tom Wright for the Brumbies.
This is hard.
No Alatoa.
Yeah,
In Fiji,
in Fiji.
I'm back in Fiji here. First game
For
of
the
the
win.
season in Fiji. I think Caleb Muntz is a big in. Brumbies, I think, have just got a lot of experience out at the moment. I'm interested to see how Austin Anderson goes. As I said before, he played a bit at Waikato back in the day, and he's moved over here. I think he's actually born in Australia, and he's got a bit of talent about him as well. So he'll be one to sort of watch in terms of new players coming through. But I just think I'm going to go Fiji this week. Joe Tamani, big pickup for the Drua again.
Yeah, I like Muntz too. You said for Marcy outside him as well. No Ravel Tamunda though. He's not there, which is this week.
Some of Andres on the bench.
Yeah, former bull shark. What do you reckon, Ren?
I'm going to go for the Brumbies. I don't think, like we were saying last week for Fiji Drua, it's like everyone knows now. You got to be on your A game if you want to beat them in Fiji, and I think Brumbies will have a point to show because they didn't get that influx of players from the Rebels. So yeah, I think that they've got a point to prove.
Win and cover? 2.5.
Yeah, cover. Yeah.
There's so many people missing out of this Brumbies side. Davey, the Wallabies 12.
Oh yeah, he's not playing.
He's not playing.
Who they
No
got up at-
Alatoa.
Who they got up at
Austin
12?
Anderson, the one's at 12.
Oh yep.
No Len Ikatel.
Yep.
Like Hudson Crichton's
Oh.
at 13.
I changed.
I shouldn't have
This
said
guy.
anything. I shouldn't
Do
have
your
said
Nah, I'm
research.
changing.
Do
No,
your
I'm changing.
research.
Back to. Actually, nah. God's plan.
One
I
on-
must have said this for a reason. I must have said this for a reason. Yeah.
Welcome
Brumbies,
back, Lachlan
Brumbies.
Lonergan.
Yep.
Interested to see how he comes off the bench at hooker.
I'm going to join you. The comp's been going for 3 years now for Fiji.
Yep.
These guys should know how to win Fiji by now.
Yeah.
Brumbies win, Brumbies cover.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right, let's go to the grand final rematch. The grand final rematch. The Blues and the Chiefs. $1.48 the Blues, $2.60 are the Chiefs. 5.5 is the line. The headline act, the two fullbacks, Bowden Barrett and Damien McKenzie.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Okay,
As am I. Obviously, they cover the line if they win.
correct. 5.5 is the number.
I just think the thing the Chiefs have on their side looking at this team is the impact they're bringing off the bench.
Yeah.
You're bringing in Tupou Vaya, Sam Penny-Finau, Cortez Ratsama, Anton Brown, and Amoni Narawa off your bench.
Holy shit!
Like I
That's
think,
an All Blacks bench.
yeah. Chiefs were embarrassed last year in that final.
Yep.
Was it 40-0? Like I just think this is the game they go nah and bounce back. I think Brodie McAllister obviously getting the first nod at hooker for the Chiefs this year is a big in for them because they obviously had problems in that final at hooker, and I think they stick with it. It's a close game to start because they're not going to want to get blown out again, and then that bench comes on and finishes the job.
I love it. I'll join you. I'm on the Chiefs to win the comp this year. I reckon they get redemption against the Blues. And then finally we head out west. The Western Force, $1.34. Moana Pacifica, $3.20. The line is 7.5. McGreely makes his debut at 15. Artie Savir at 8. I like that Temu Falau, the winger for the Moana. He played Tonga Sevens a few years ago, a bit of a live wire as well. And Dylan Peach will make his debut off the bench for the Force. Boys.
I'm going to go with Moana. I'm going to back him.
Here's a stat for you. The Force have had 2 wins in the last 16 round 1 games. They are dreadful in round 1.
I've got no idea.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this like, fuck, who do you pick? And the only reason I'm going with the Pacifica is they've easily got the best player on the field.
Yeah.
In Artie Savia.
Yeah.
All right, that's why I'm leaning that way. Hoping Harry Potter can stay healthy this year. I think he's a Wallabies bolter if he's healthy.
Well, he's made his debut now, hasn't he?
Did he make his debut?
He did, against Scotland.
Did not know that.
I reckon we're going to see one of the most active Artie Savias we've seen in a long time.
We done to do a lot.
Bro, he's going out there with a point to prove. After seeing what he said when he was named as captain, and he's like, I want to earn your boys' respect first.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
This means a lot to
Yeah,
him.
yeah, 100%.
If I could put a random multi on, Artie Savia, man of the match, Darcy Swain, yellow card.
Lock.
Tizano's another one to watch.
Yeah, he's a
Did you
beast.
see the thing he's put on
built
6
up.
kilos?
Yeah. He's fired
Joe
up.
Smith made him put 7 kilos on or 6 kilos on, so that's a big one to watch as well.
I like Moana to win and cover, obviously, as well. I reckon the Force, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah.
Jordan Way reffing, he does let it flow too, so I think that's going to suit.
Take the
Pacifica.
over, a couple of points, you reckon? Lovely. So we've got a few underdogs there. Like we're all on the Chiefs, $2.60, Moana, $3.20. Put them in a multi, just $5, something.
Yeah.
Something. Players to watch this weekend. One man we should all be watching out for.
Oh shit! I just sort of did that as we went around.
Yeah,
Like new guy or
Just one, whoever you want. Who's someone you're looking forward to seeing round 1?
I reckon Hurricanes fullback. Nipkins or obviously obviously Artie Savia. Like I said, I think we're gonna see one of the most active Artie Savias that we've seen in a long time.
While you're doing yours, I'll go Will Jordan. I'm keen to see him back. I reckon he'd be really motivated to play well in front of his home fans again for the Crusaders.
Should we go an Australian player?
Nah.
All of us are just gone.
well, okay. I was stuck between 2 players looking at this. It was Leroy, but I've already spoken. But I'm gonna go Ethan Blackadder.
Yep.
I just think healthy, big off season, wants his spot back in the All Blacks. He's at 7. I just think he's gonna be fucking
There you go.
dominant this weekend, especially because that 7 jersey with Sam Cane gone is well and truly open. And I think he's going to try and get that jump on that spot early.
I'll give you one. I'll give you an Aussie one. We speak of the Waratahs about how good they are, but there's one man's got to control that side. Tane Edmund.
Oh yeah.
He's got a
Tane.
Tane
now.
yes.
Tane now.
Sorry, mate. I reckon he's got a big year ahead. He needs to direct traffic and make it all happen. So
I was gonna go with Waratahs as well, and I was gonna go Angus Bell.
beast.
Yeah, I reckon he'll kill it.
One of the best players in this country for sure.
Yeah. Holy.
I'll stick with
I thought you were one of the best.
Oh yeah, and that too. He's fired up.
I'll stick with Carlo Tizano.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I just sort of gave a bit of props to him. I think he makes 20 plus tackles this weekend.
Lovely. Before we move on to Super, you might have saw we posted on Instagram today our top 6 predictions. I'll go with yours, Tyler, and you can comment for me. So you've got Blues to win the comp, Reds, Chiefs, Brumbies. Oh no, sorry, is it? Yeah, it is. Blues, Reds, Chiefs, Brumbies, Crusaders, Hurricanes.
Yes, it was tough.
Yeah.
I think the 7th team in there, and I was saying to you before, is the Waratahs. The Hurricanes obviously have issues at 10 at the moment, whether this kid's going to step up. Crusaders, I think, are just too talented not to be there again. Like, it's obviously a coaching issue if they don't make the 6, so that's why those two got the nod over the Tars. And I think the Tars were wooden spooners last year. That's a big ask to turn a team around.
Yeah.
That much to get them into the playoffs, so that's why they missed out. Brumbies at 4th. The reason I went for Brumbies is they get to play more Aussie teams, same as the Reds. That's why the Reds are at 2. So I think the Reds are the best Aussie team, and they play the Force twice. We haven't really talked highly about them. And then the Brumbies, obviously, they get 2 games against the Drua as well. So they get 1 at home, which normally is a guaranteed win when you're playing the Drua at your own home ground. Blues, I just think the Blues are also too talented.
Yeah.
There hasn't been too many changes. Bowden Barrett comes in, and that arguably makes the side better. So I still think the Blues get the top spot. And then I got my Chiefs at 3rd. I still think they're going to be the 2nd best NZ team.
Yeah.
I just think when you play the Blues twice and play the Hurricanes twice, you're not winning all 4 of those. And less things are really going your way. So
Lovely.
that's where I've gone for that.
Reen, you
That
got...
was a good breakdown.
Now, let's
This
see.
is not going to be as good.
So yours go. The Queensland Reds going to win the comp for the first time since 2011. Blues, Chiefs, Canes, Brumbies, and Crusaders back in the finals.
Yeah. So who did I leave out there?
Is this end of season or is this playoffs?
Oh, I was going to ask that. Yeah.
I just went for it. I think the top six
Yeah,
will be
this
coming
top
into it.
6. Yeah, but I do think that the Reds. I think this might be a bit of wishful thinking because obviously those Blues and Chiefs, like, they're going to be on fire come finals time. But I'm really backing the Reds to win the comp. And then who did I leave out? Was it the Waratahs?
You left the Tars out. Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't know who to leave out between Tars, Crusaders, or my Hurricanes. But I had to put my Hurricanes in there. And like you said, like I don't think the Crusaders can do what they did last year again. I don't think that they can't make the finals again.
Sneak in. For me, I've got the Chiefs, Reds, Brumbies, Blues, Hurricanes, and Waratahs. I did leave the Crusaders out just because I just don't believe in Rob Penny. But now, thinking about the inexperience with the Canes, I'm a bit worried about that a little bit. But I reckon Chiefs have been runners up last 2 years, I believe. So I reckon third time's a charm. They get it done.
I only have one issue with the Reds. I think they're criminally underdone going into this super season.
In regards to trials and stuff? Or?
Well, they've played 2 trials. The first one was a bit of a joke. Like, Bristol didn't really send
Second
out...
one was good.
Didn't really send out good players. Second one's good. So they've had one proper, maybe decent test out. Hard to judge, though, like, the difference in levels.
Yeah.
You know, like, Ulster play a different style of game than the Super Rugby sides. They got a bye this week. They are lucky, though. I think they played Moana Force in their first 2. So that could have been strategically done that they weren't too... sort of wrecked because they should get 2 wins in those first 2 games. But I just think they're a little bit underdone in terms of playing quality Super Rugby sides. Like, I'd be pre-season against the Brumbies as much as I could, or the Waratahs even on paper. Because I just think it makes you tested for Super Rugby.
Yeah, normally they play the Force in a trial. And they didn't do
They
it
used to
this
play
year.
the Chiefs every year.
True.
So I don't know what happened when that fell. I think COVID stopped that.
Right.
So
Anyway, there we go. That's what we think is going to happen in round 1 for Super Rugby. Anything we caught our eyes on social media this week? It's seen on social. Anything you sort of saw? Like, that's
my
going to be...
whole timeline's been Drake
It's-
and Kendrick. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Just
Rain,
appreciate
your
the two.
eyes lit up. What do you got?
I don't know how true it is, but I saw something. Michael Parsons to the Bears. I don't know how true it is.
What's your
But
source?
I think there's a possibility.
Wow.
Okay, my source is a Chiefs,
Trust me,
a
bro.
Bears fans page. Yeah,
My sources, trust
my
me,
source
bro.
is my source is a Bears fan page, but you know I would like to see it.
Okay.
I'll double down. I think they will get a
Someone.
good edge rusher.
Yeah.
Rusher?
They have so much cap space.
I don't think it'll be Micah Parsons. I don't think the Cowboys will be willing to let him go with a new coach coming in. Would not be surprised. What's the fella from the Raiders?
Oh, the big white
Matt
fella.
Crosby.
Yeah.
Would not be surprised if it's him that ends up at the
I
Bears.
also did see that. So I've actually seen Myles Garrett, Max Crosby.
Garrett's another one.
And I've seen, so I've seen all 3 of them.
Those,
Take them all.
Just give us all of them.
I think one of Crosby or Garrett will end up at the Bears. I just think
Yeah.
they're both in teams that are going down. Bears look like they're on the up a little bit.
Only thing about Garrett, though, he said he wants to go somewhere where there is Super
Chance to win a
Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which, well, hey, settle
Okay,
down, mate. Settle down, mate.
Well, not in year 1, surely.
Yeah.
I think the Bears are going to be a playoff team next year.
You said it last week.
I said it
Bold
last week.
prediction.
Let's
I actually
go.
think they'll get 13 wins. That's
Okay.
my prediction.
Anything you saw on social outside of rugby or sport in general, or just
UFC,
yeah?
that was a good main event. I thought I actually enjoyed that fight. District was Duplessis. Like, I don't know
That's so
how
funny.
he fights like that.
Yeah, I've seen like so many like little snippets, and it's like UFC, and it's like professional fighters, and it just shows them, and they're just doing the most random shit.
He's
Both of them.
So like, he'll throw a punch and realize, shit, it's not working. I'm gonna push my head into him as far as I can, so he can't hit me back.
They're so like unconventional. Both those two, the way they fight is just really unconventional.
But that shot to break his nose in slow mo,
Strickland's nose?
yeah,
Yeah, I saw
just
that.
come,
Yeah.
boom, just you saw it break
That's
straight
just the
away.
worst feeling, eh?
I don't know how he fought another. Like, he was surviving though. To be fair, he started running a little bit, but I don't
He
know how
was
you
running.
can fight with a broken nose. When I broke mine last year, I was like fucking struggling.
There was another beast fight on that card. Oh, I can't remember their names. Pass.
Random one for you. I saw this is trending. It's gone viral. Have you seen the Mexican dating show, Montoya?
No,
Have
do
you
I have
seen
to
this
go
at
look
all?
at this?
It's the most fucked up thing ever. So like, it's a Mexican reality TV show, and basically it's like a Too Hot to Handle, but you got your girlfriend in there, and then they gotta not have sex with other blokes. And so what happened was this viral clip went viral where the host is there and he sits down, this guy named Montoya.
Oh my god, I have seen that.
And he has to watch his girlfriend has sex in front of him, and she's like 100 meters down, and he's fucking going passion, losing his mind, and he runs off the set and runs 100 meters down the beach, and then he cuts out, but he goes into the room to try and.
That's murder, bro.
That's
murder.
Like the poor guy, he's absolutely gutted.
Goodness.
I just couldn't believe what I was watching.
That's murder. They're promoting murder. They're promoting murder, bro. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you saw the clip,
I've seen it. And
that is fucked.
And the actual video, whoever she was with, there was some serious heat going on, and he had to call it all.
Fucking hell.
I'm like, Jesus
Actually,
Christ.
what the fuck? You said you were going to change that.
Oh, things are happening in a week, mate. Bloody hell.
You said
Put
next
the old
week.
one back up.
Oh, we've run out of budget. Yeah, that's all I got going on. Valentine's Day, Friday. Any plans, boys?
Work.
My plan's Super Rugby.
I'm going to be in Melbourne.
Oh, what are you doing in Melbourne?
I'm going to watch Drake tomorrow.
You're going to watch it in Melbourne?
Yeah.
Really?
How'd you get a ticket?
Don't worry about me.
Oh, good. Who are you going with?
Don't worry about me.
Lovely. All right, boys. Any final thoughts before we look to close here?
Ban the sternum law.
Yeah, there we go.
Can't forget
You're
it.
taking over it
I
now.
have to take over it.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, it's good to have you back once again. 2 in a row. Hopefully a few more.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Thank you. Enjoy round 1 Super Rugby action. We'll see you next week once again.